Hey guys, welcome back to Chat with Charlie. So for our guest today, we have Mr. Larynx Entertainment himself, Dave Acton. So say hello, Dave.
Mr. Larynx Entertainment. That's a title I never wanted, but there you go.
You got it. You got it. You got it now. So I mean, a lot of people who know me will know that. Well, they would have seen that. Obviously, Larynx Entertainment has shared and supported my music probably more so than any other platform in South Wales. And I love obviously what you guys have done at Larynx and all that. So like, how did that even start? Like, how did Larynx Entertainment start? Was that you the starter of that, or was it just something you got involved with?
Yeah, so long story. So my friend Tim Humphreys Jones had a spoken word night in Wrexham
Hmm.
that was called Voice Box. And then a couple of rappers started coming through because they were open to any sort of like spoken word, beatboxing, rapping. I think he wanted a ventriloquist at one point, but just never came across a ventriloquist.
Yeah.
Um, so like all these rappers started coming through, and we were like, oh, why don't we try and make some form of collective
Hmm.
and see if we can. So we started off. We were originally called the Larynx.
Hmm.
I know there was a good couple of us. We had like double barreled, which is Tim in there. Runic was in there
Brunic,
from
yeah.
up here, up in Riffin. Skinny Bill was in there, who's now part of Well Happy Music. Yeah, there was a misfit who's like gone on to do like emo rap sort of stuff. So yeah, it was. We did that for a couple of years, and then I think we sort of built a little bit of an establishment up here in Wrexham. There's still that sort of stigma that exists.
Hmm.
Like, well, hip hop in Wales, it's still very much a stigma up here, I think.
Yeah.
Um, so we did that for a couple of years, and then we got to 2018, and we were like, what can we do to sort of move forward a little bit? Everyone had their own sort of audiences, and sort of housing that many people in a group and trying to maintain control of it can be difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
So we thought, oh, we've met Craze the Jack and Minus
Hmm.
at Focus Wales 2018, and we were like, oh, I wonder, what else is happening in regards to Wales,
Hmm.
and started just researching, and it was like incredible. Like I think the first one that we came across, I'm a big battle rap fan, and Bobby Rex had posted in the UK battle rap group forum about Luke RV,
Hmm.
um, saying that, oh, this guy just wants some feedback on his music or whatnot, and like Bobby was like massive on it. And I went and checked it out. I was like, holy shit, this guy's like really good, like really distinct voice, um, original. Carried on researching, came across the likes of Conrad, Noah,
Yeah.
uh, Raz Kid, Culture Vultures.
Hmm.
Just started coming across all these people. We were like, well, why don't we sort of like be like a meet, sort of like an SVTV for Wales?
Yeah.
Like, in a nutshell, that's what it is. In a nutshell, and yeah, it sort of went from there, sort of 2018, and we've just carried on with it ever since.
Hmm. That's good. Yeah, I always think that because obviously, like, well, I'm in South Wales, you're in Wrexham, and like, I mean, I'm not sure about you how well connected you are with people in like other cities in England, and all that. So like, I've got a lot of mates in Manny, and they're always got like different platforms, different places to perform. They'll do like club nights in like Gorilla and things like this. Gorilla's a venue in Manchester. I'm not sure if you know it, but a few of my listeners will know it. And I sometimes think I just like, I think about Wales and I think, how many of these opportunities do we actually have here? I mean, obviously, I see it from a South Wales perspective, like North Wales and Wrexham and all that. I mean, from my understanding, is there's even less. Like that's what from what it seems to be. So for you guys to be up there is obviously a great opportunity for especially the people who are just starting out. Like shout out Benzi, he dropped a new EP, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's Wrexham, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the younger lot that we've got up here alongside like Flo and C7s,
Mm.
JP, all doing their thing up here at the moment. And then even on the outskirts, you've got like the vets like O Davis, Kenny Cadence.
Mm.
There's another new lad as well, Danny Ed, who's like dropped a track last night, really good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you. on the sort of opportunity side of things, I think there are a little less opportunities when it comes to sort of the whole of the north in a way. So if you go across Wrexham, Rill, Colwyn Bay,
Yeah.
Anglesey, for the most part, the artists have made the opportunities for themselves. Like Foresight is like one of the more well-known names up here.
Yeah.
Like being on stuff like Don't Flop, but then he's done like his own gigs. He's put on his own shows and stuff, and got his name out there like that. And then obviously like Mr. Formula is just like at that sort of next level. Like Mr. Formula is being on like Charlie Sloth show at one point. He was part of that. So the opportunities are lacking a little bit in the north, and we try to change that. Obviously, COVID hasn't really helped in that regard. We'd like to think we'd have done a bit more over the past 18 months had COVID not been a thing. But
I get that.
We move.
Yeah, no. I respect that, because it's like even me, like I feel some of the things we got here in South Wales, even like, I found myself going to Bristol a fair bit just to get opportunities and do shows. Even though it's like an hour 20 from me driving from like Porthcawl. Obviously, someone will say now, they'll be listening now, and it's like, oh yeah, I put my foot down and did it in an hour. It's like, yeah, good for you, mate. But like, but yeah, no, I do find myself.
If you're going to do it responsibly.
Exactly.
If you're going to do it, be responsible.
Exactly. But I do find myself, even here in South Wales, I find myself pushing to try and go further. I feel like there's not the opportunities here sometimes either. Like this is one of the reasons I have this podcast now, is because I'm like, well, who's doing this? Who's creating a platform for artists, creatives to all come on and just sort of chat about life, chat about music. And I'm just like, well, no one's inviting me to do anything. I'm going to make it myself. It's that whole sort of, if there's not a door to open, build a building yourself type of mentality. So that's what sort of goes.
I think for the most part, it has got to come from yourself. You've got to start me for other people to then catch on to it. I think that's what the thing is. I mean, there's obviously been like other like we were talking earlier on. I saw someone say about the Fussell and Brighty podcast. And that was brilliant. I had multiple artists on, discussing different things and whatnot. But yeah, you have got to sort of get up and do it yourself in a way. But then hopefully that catches fire and spreads. Not to be so destructive about it, hopefully that's what happens from that. I think sometimes maybe people expect that opportunity to just come out of thin air. And I've learned over the past couple of years that it just doesn't work like that. Like, it just doesn't work like that. You have literally got to put yourself out there.
Yeah, I feel as well like I'm not sure if everybody's aware here, but obviously we had that Larynx Cypher less than a week ago now. It was just on Saturday. This will probably come out, by the time this comes out, it'll probably be a couple of weeks ago now. But it's the 8th of July, if anyone's wondering when we recorded this. But that was good as well to see sort of some of the younger artists coming up in the Welsh scene as well. So obviously, I mean, I think a fair few of us know about Man Like Vision. I mean, the guy's only 17, but oh my god, he's killing it. So he's
honest to God, and to be fair to you and to everyone there. Everyone smashed it.
Exactly.
That experience and that sort of confidence, though, in like Vision, you, Truth, and OJ Skeng, just flat out did what you asked there and then, and it was like, it just makes it easier, but it's also amazing to watch as well. But yeah, it was brilliant to work with the younger generation, and see that Wales in a couple of years is going to be in such a good place.
Yeah.
Because there's these artists that are there that are going to come through next. Yeah, it's brilliant to see that it will be in such a, and so varied as well. Like obviously, when we did the ciphers, they were all on sort of boom bap beats.
Yeah.
But I've got no doubt. I mean, Truth has not long dropped a track that was over a Dizzy instrumental, and I was rapping on it.
Yeah.
Vision can do pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Stupid good.
I know.
OJ as well. Yourself, I'm very much a fan of your style, where it's a bit more laid back and a bit more vulnerability on show. I think.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me.
Yeah, it
I
is.
like bare their soul.
It is interesting though, because like I have obviously me myself would be the same as you when you're making music. We all obviously as artists experiment with different sounds and styles, and I've got like a little niche fan club for pretty much every one of my songs. Has got like a niche fan club. I mean, I've got like nearly 30 songs out at the moment, but Cash Converters, I tell you not, like Cash Converters. I don't know if you've heard that track of mine. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's like a little fan club of that, and I remember the first time I performed it properly, like it came out, and my brother showed it to some of his mates at uni, and they're all like proper gassing it up, like, "Oh, Cash Converters!" But if someone's not familiar with it, Cash Converters is probably like my most grime drill inspired track. And we went to an open mic night to perform it at Ocean Arts in. I'm not sure if it's classed as Cardiff Bay or if it's just Cardiff, but it's like South Cardiff. And we got there, and the crowd must have been like 50-year-old people, and all these guys turned up. It was like five or six of them, like my brother and his mates, just to see me perform Cash Converters. Like I had other tracks as well that I was performing, but they're like, "Oh, Cash Converters." I was like, "Cash Converters, money containers. Why do we want them papers?" So it's sort of like there are times when people like different tracks and different styles, but like you said, I feel like when I put out like vulnerable tracks, I feel that's when people resonate the most. So
Yeah, yeah. I said this to T Rev yesterday. Shouts to him. Like, I've been privileged to have people send me music prior to its release.
yeah,
And the thing that I always listen for, and I think it's almost a unique thing in Wales, is because no one sort of necessarily knows the majority of the artists in Wales. They might know a handful, but they don't necessarily. Everyone's got an opportunity to sort of be original in a way
yeah,
and catchy as like that for the first time. So like, if you send me music and I know that it's you, so T Rev sent me a couple of bits and it sounds like T Rev,
mm,
like that works. That's a win for me.
mm,
If you send me something and it's very, very far away from what I've heard from you before,
yeah,
like very good for experimenting, but I might personally want to hear you do you
mm,
and not necessarily bend and conform to, popular music.
yeah,
Yeah, that's just me. The same with Double Barreled is the most sort of niche, one of the most niche, unstructured sort of artists that I know. I still don't know if he can count bars,
yeah.
but but
Fair enough.
at the same time, the music that he's put out is a start. It's all self-produced. All his recent projects, they're all self-produced. They're all like he's just sat there on BandLab creating beats
Mm,
of a night time. Like for the most, they're all self-recorded. All the bars there is. I think Mr. Formula might have mastered it for him,
yeah.
but like it's all him, and that's what I appreciate more
Mm,
than anything else when it comes to like that creative part of music.
100%. Yeah. No, that's good, and that's so true. Because like like obviously with the whole larynx thing, like I've not seen. I mean, you did have the opportunity there to really push your own music. I suppose you could have used.
It's pointless. It's
Yeah.
pointless. I've had one track. We're coming up to a year on the release of my last track, and before that, it was about 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, it is what it is. But like,
Mm,
yeah, my music is very much secondary to what everyone else does. Like,
mm,
I do what I do for you. I'm not.
mm.
It's not a second agenda where I'm fucking building an audience for my own shit. Like, nah, like, yeah, but yeah, my music is sort of. I suffer with like ridiculous writer's block. Like,
Yeah.
I'll write like Blue was my last track,
Mm.
and it's one of, if not the only track that I'm absolutely 100% proud of.
Oh wow.
Like, because it manages to balance the personal, vulnerable side of me
Mm.
and the bars. Like,
Yeah.
I'd say I'm a massive battle rap fan, and battle rap changed what I saw after in music.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, having the creative bars talking about how sad you are,
Yeah.
Like that's what I wanted to achieve, and I feel like Blue achieved that. Of
Mm.
course, I'm always trying to get the wheel spinning. Like I'm always trying to push to make new music, but I'm just always hitting a brick wall.
Yeah.
Always hitting a brick wall. Once I get out of it, I'm off.
Mm.
I'm good to go, and then I'll probably write a song, and then that's it. I'll be done again for another however long it is.
Damn. Yeah. Damn.
It's weird, mate. It's weird. Like I absolutely love it as well. I love the creative writing process.
Mm.
Like not to toot my own horn, but some of the bars in Blue were some of the happiest I've ever been with. Like
Yeah.
Sokovia Records are keeping tabs on us because I'm supposed to be the hero, but I do more damage than good. So the Avengers, Sokovia Records,
Yeah.
like they meant to save everything, and referencing my children, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That
No, that's good. Yeah.
that's what gets me going. But yeah,
Yeah.
like I say, those bars I'm like extremely proud of.
Mm.
But yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe in the next year
Yeah.
I'll have another track.
Well,
Maybe.
like I say, never diss yourself when it comes to your music, because even because not many people know this, but when we did do the cipher on that beat, that it was me, Truth and Vision. You spat a verse as well, and we heard that, mate. We heard that, and it was good. It was good.
Yeah, that's just like that. Yeah, they just bars I have sat there sort of thing.
I know,
But
but
then
never put yourself down. You're a brilliant rapper as well. You got to remember that, Dave.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. But yeah, like I say, my focus, like even more so at the moment, being unemployed,
Yeah.
definitely on continuing to push the incredible amount of artists and credible artists that we have in Wales.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
that's goal number one.
That's good. Yeah. Nice. Funny enough, I say speaking on the unemployment part, because you said you just quit your job from Lidl, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm currently working in retail as well, and like I'm not dissing my shop or any companies for anybody who's listening right now, but retail's not the be all end all for me. Obviously, I think I'm the same as you. I'm the same as a lot of people. I don't want to be retiring from the shop that I work. And a few people who know this now, and I did mention it to you as well, but I have actually been doing a few jobs on Fiverr, which is I'm very, very grateful it's been picking up as well. Yesterday I made more money in a day from doing stuff on Fiverr than I'm making a week at my current job.
Hey, I mean that there is the point of sort of right. Okay, then drop it.
That's the thing.
To me, like, and it's only recently that I've reached this point of, you know what, fuck everything else. Like, let's delve 100% into this.
Yeah.
And that, because I've been clinging. I've been in retail since I left school.
Yeah.
And I was in Lidl for 11 years. And like, it's soul destroying. It's absolutely soul destroying. Even more so, like the job, like I say, the job I can do. It's just unrealistic expectations, and like more so over the past 18 months as well. Like people,
Yeah. 100%.
like, and I get it. I get people like agitated and stuff. But like, don't take it out on just people that are trying to do their jobs.
Exactly. I feel you. I don't think it's mentioned enough. Like, there's a woman I work with, and she's probably got like 6 jobs. She's got a lot of jobs, but one of the jobs she also does is she's a care worker, and she actually reckons, she says that she thinks working at our shop is harder than being a care worker during the pandemic. And again, I know it's different for different people. Some people might work in I don't know, Waitrose in a posh village somewhere, and they're all might be really polite or something, and they might be working with a family and they might love it. And some people don't. It's different for different people. But from my experience and what sounds like your experience, and a lot of people's experience, working in retail during the pandemic has just not been fun at all. Like,
not in the slightest. And just retail in general, anyway. Like, before the pandemic, I've almost been stabbed. I've
Yeah.
almost, I've almost had a needle shoved in me.
But yeah.
I've had multiple scuffles,
Yeah.
and like I'm like a very on the fence person, and I
Mm.
think, well, why am I like confronting this person who's got 60 quid worth of meat in their bag or whatever like that? Just let them go. I need to be healthy. I
Yeah,
need
you
to.
survive. Your life's not worth 60 quid. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's the
exactly.
truth.
And like I'm always like that on like pretty much everything. But
Mm.
like, but yeah, retail is soul destroying, and like I say, I feel so much more focused and just got a little bit more energy about me. I'm just happier. Like
That's good.
that was the goal. Like I think my my missus and my kids, I come home and I'm like not a nice person.
Mm.
Like, I'm horrible. I'm not saying I go to extreme
Yeah.
measures or anything like that, but I'm just miserable. Like, I'm a sensitive soul at heart anyway. Like,
Yeah. Same.
I'm just, I've always been like that since I was a kid.
Mm.
But like even more so now when or in recent years where I feel like, right, I'm just doing this to keep everything else afloat.
Mm.
Well, and I'm not gaining any happiness from it.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not putting into my relationship. I'm not putting into my kids, and yeah, that had to stop. And it came to a point where it was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And like literally, I handed in my notice. I think it was the 2nd of June,
Yeah.
and I'd like to think in 5, 6 weeks, however long it is, that there's been a major difference. I like to think
100%.
that I'm so much more focused and, like I say, above all else, happier. Like just knowing that I'm going to go back there,
Mm.
man.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you always got to prioritize your mental health when it comes to things like this. That's going to be key. I think
A
hundred
hundred
percent.
percent, mate. 100%. Like I, I'm a big advocate for mental health.
Yeah,
And I'm probably like the worst person to give advice, really,
yeah,
because I'll dish it out. But God forbid me taking that advice.
mm.
God forbid me listening to myself and going, Christ, you need to get out of the situation. But, honest to God, the relief you feel by actually pursuing something that you want to do,
Yeah,
but also being able to appreciate what you have as well. Like I've not. I absolutely love the bones of my kids and my partner,
mm.
absolutely, and would do anything for them. But they've certainly been neglected over the period of time.
Yeah,
Certainly, but like I say, we're on the road to better things.
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good to have that self awareness as well. I sometimes like I'm in a different position. Like I still live at home with my mums and one of my brothers. Um, but yeah, I can honestly say the same as well. I do like they'll be quite upfront with me about it. I'll come home from work and they'll be like, "Yeah, you're not yourself when you're at work." I remember there was an option for me to transfer shops to a closer one, and I would have gone from my current like 23 hours to 7.5 hours, which for me financially just it didn't work out, which is the reason why I didn't take it. But it was like my parents really wanted me to take that, to be honest, because they were like, you spend less time there, you can focus on something else. But the way that it's like the world works, you sort of need money to make money in a sense.
Yeah.
So I felt like, in my head I'm thinking if I can just stick it out a bit longer and go from there. And like obviously hindsight now, I've got a bit of money from Fiverr. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the money I'm making. But again, I'm not going to pretend that that's guaranteed money because for all I know, it could be times where I got lots of customers and not so many customers. So I just feel like right now is still the time where I'm bridging multiple sources of income for myself. So with this money I'm making from Fiverr, my plan is to actually get a camera and start doing some music videos as well. Music documentaries, music videos. Again, I know obviously we talk about Larynx before being a platform like SBTV, but if I could create a series where it's like people do freestyles, I'd be happy to do that. I mean, even once I got this camera, even if it was like a collaboration with Larynx Entertainment, that's cool. Like I've got my car, I got a new car now. I could drive to Newport or whatever. We get Truth and Vision, things like
Yeah.
this. I could drive to Swansea. I could see Crazy Jack. I could do all these things, and I feel like it's the same with you. It's the same with you. Like obviously you've already got experience editing videos and things like that. So I mean,
Yeah, like I completely get like the risk, especially when I think about the financial side of things, like
yeah,
the risk that I've taken. Like some people would say, like that's mad irresponsible and not very sensible and
mm,
whatever. But like at the same time, like I can't keep going somewhere just because of a wage at the end of the month.
yeah,
I can't
facts.
do that. There needs to be the. I get so much more fulfillment from doing Larynx and trying to help people pursue their dreams.
Mm,
As corny as whatever it is it sounds, I get so much more fulfillment from that than going and doing stacking a shelf or whatever.
yeah,
And yeah, in a way, I like to help people, and I'll
mm,
do like I'm not an expert either. I'm absolutely not an expert in
yeah,
the slightest. My drive is the passion I have for the art form and seeing underrepresented talent get the stage that they deserve.
100%.
That is that is what the mission statement is.
Mm,
That is what the mission statement is, and it'll continue to. And I said, if I can just help one person in achieve something that helps further their career, that's it. I can go to bed at night and sleep happily.
yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's all that matters to me. But yeah, like just stop. I can't say it enough. Stop doing stuff that you don't like. Like stop doing it.
Facts.
There and then. Stop doing it. If you hate it, if it really is affecting your mental state more than anything,
Mm,
which then leads to it affecting different factors of your life, stop doing it. The money can be earned elsewhere.
yeah.
You can go anywhere and earn money, whether it's legal or illegal. You can go and earn money, and that's not a suggestion to go and start.
Yeah, yeah. Just a disclaimer to everyone. We're not saying go out there and start
That's
selling
not a
crack.
suggestion, but you can go and earn money wherever you want,
Mm,
doing whatever if you put your mind to it. But like, it's not necessarily going to bring you happiness, and that's the breakthrough that I've come to. Like,
mm.
yeah,
Yeah, nice. Yeah, no, that's the way it's going to be. But yeah,
mate, I'll get so flustered doing this.
it's good. It's good. No, it's good. It's good to have that passion. It's good to see like, again, both of us being in retail, you'll see that it's like people seem to lack a passion and a drive about things. I think most people do have one or two things that they are truly passionate about in life, and obviously for us, it's music related. Um, but I just feel if more people, I think that's the thing. Like I've got mates of mine who I'm at that age now. I'm 21. People are just finishing uni, and they're still not sure what they want to do with their life because they haven't found anything that really draws them in, that they're really passionate about. And I feel like if more people could just find that, regardless what it is, and you can just find a way to make a living off of it, just to get by. Just need like the old sort of Kanye just to get by, the funny whatever. I get the old NPC out, way, but nothing for detour. But yeah, no, if they can just find something they're really passionate about and they can get by from, that is just that's just it, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and it might not even be, I mean, as extravagant as a music career or anything like that.
Mm,
It might just be tending to your garden.
yeah,
It literally might be going out there and pulling weeds out and planting new flowers and all that lot.
mm,
But if that is what makes you happy, do it.
exactly.
My philosophy on that is, if you are not hurting anyone, and you are not hurting yourself,
Yeah,
do what the fuck you want to do.
exactly.
Like the bog standard. That's all it comes to. As long as you're not hurting anyone and not hurting yourself, do what you want to do.
Facts. Yeah.
Be you. And I don't care if you're a fucking giraffe. Whatever. Just do what you want to do. Do
Mm,
what you want to do. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, man. No, that's the way it's got to be. So, but that's the thing. I think as well with the internet and all that. There's good things and bad things that have come from the internet. Just today I was in the gym and I saw a girl. Again, I'm not if you're starting at the gym, brilliant. I'm completely for that. But there's this thing called like arm aerobics or something, arm air aerobics, and basically it looks like people doing the Macarena, and I thought it was a TikTok trend. I did, but I saw somebody. I kid you not, doing this with a full conviction, thinking that just by waving their arms back and forth, they're going to get big. And I'm just thinking like, is this from the internet? It's got to be. And I'm like, what? But that's what I mean when I say to them again. Even started at the gym because I was trained to be a personal trainer as well. There was some issues with the funding, so that's on pause at the moment. But yeah, like that's just an example of something from the internet that's kind of got out of control. But it does allow you. The internet does allow people who you thought jobs that didn't exist, they can exist. I seen on Fiverr a guy who does Morgan Freeman impressions, and he gets paid good money for this.
Wow.
And he makes a living off of Morgan Freeman impressions.
Nice.
So if you can do that, if someone can do that, there is something that anyone who's listening to this can do and can make a living off, and then you can enjoy it more than a regular job, in a warehouse or stacking shelves or whatever. Just
find your hustle, I suppose. Find your hustle, find what it's going to be. The judgment that sort of gets cast over the internet is something that I can't deal with it. It's going to happen in whatever you do, especially if you put yourself out there in the public forum. It's just going to happen. Sometimes I don't think it needs to be as vicious as it can be, but I mean, like I say, if you put yourself out there like that, I suppose you have to sort of expect that sort of backlash.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, I suppose. Baby Shark is the most innocent of songs ever, yet about 100 billion dads in the world probably want to chuck something at the telly every time it comes on. Yeah. Mate, honest to God. I've got 2 kids, and then my nieces and nephews all come round, and it's that, or it's, what's the other one? The 1-2 song, Johnny, Yes, Papa, and
no.
Mate, get on YouTube.
Baby
Shark is the second most viewed video on YouTube ever.
Would not surprise me by now, to be honest.
It's absolutely horrific, but whatever keeps the kids quiet, I suppose.
Yeah, no, and somebody's seen that opportunity and they've made a Baby Shark song and it's gone viral and they've done something because of it, So you can't knock the hustle. That's it. At the end of the day, you can't knock the hustle.
Not at all, mate. Not at all.
That's it. So it's all good for them. But yeah, back to the thing about the feedback on the internet. Obviously, you when you were rapping more and putting stuff out. Did you ever have any times where you had, I suppose, negative feedback that sort of got to you in a sense?
This sounds really bad. But I don't know whether my music has ever had that reach. I've never necessarily had really bad feedback. But I'm my own biggest critic, so I know when I fucked up. So no one necessarily needs to tell me that I fucked up. So live performances I've done, here and there, and I'm never happy with a live performance that I do.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely not. I hate every single one. As soon as I finished, I'm like, right, get me off. I want to go.
Wow.
I'm really, really nervous prior to any performance. To the point where it's oh no, I can't do this. But yeah, in regards to sort of feedback on music itself, to be fair, there's not a lot out there anymore. All of the older stuff I've taken off because it's garbage.
Yeah.
And yeah, for the most part, I've never really, but like I say, I don't think I've ever really had that reach in terms of music, which is probably my own doing as well, but because I've never really been able to commit 100% to it because I just can't get anything done. But
yeah, no, that's a start.
Yeah,
and for anyone wondering, he was early, so that's something as well.
Mate, early all the time, mate. Obviously, we've had to reschedule, but I can 100% guarantee you, I will be on time for most things because, if someone's late for anything, I'm crawling. That person needs to get here now. It's the biggest, pet peeve wise. That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
It is lateness. I can't stand it. Can't stand it.
I I don't know about lateness, but I don't know if it's the same with you about like slow replies or people making slow decisions. Like, especially if
Yeah,
it's something that needs fixing or needs sorting. I can't be
yeah,
waiting around. I gotta get it done. It's gotta be done.
yeah.
Like,
If there's if it's a matter of urgency, like I need to tell this person that something's happening,
yeah,
then you need to get back to me now so I can tell that person.
yeah,
That's my thing. Yeah, I'm with you there, communication. But I've gone sort of a little bit crapper it over recent months. To
mm,
be fair, and like Tim will message me about like football or something, and
yeah,
I'll read the message at like 11 o'clock at night because he's like an owl. And I'll be like, oh, I'll get back to that in the morning, and then just no, it's gone. I've slept and it's out the head. I just completely forget.
damn.
But yeah, communication definitely up there, and yeah, like I say, lateness. Like just can't stand it. It just genuinely makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, nah,
And that's bad to say because of the cock up that we had on the weekend.
it's all
I,
right. We sorted it. I just like again because I'm driving everywhere now. That's literally it. Almost defines me now driving because I live where I live. I've got to drive everywhere. I'm off to a jam session tonight. I've got to drive to Cardiff. I can't stay the night, so I've got to drive back, drive to work, drive. But I'm always like, right, is there somewhere to park? And I remember I was checking and I'm like looking at the postcode and I'm thinking, there's nowhere to park here. And I've never been up that way in the valleys before. Tell you what, it's mad getting there. Like, it's like dual carriages for like the first like half an hour. It feels. I mean, it's not. I don't think it was half an hour, but it just kept going and going and going. I'm like, oh, surely it's after this roundabout. No, it's the next roundabout. No, it's the one after that. No, just kept going. And then I got to this village. I mean, it must have been a village. It was like sort of south of Tonopandi and sort of. By the way, my Welsh pronunciation is crap, so if I say anything wrong, and it was like west of Porth. I kid you, it was like a roller coaster. I'm like, way going all around, going through these hills. I'm like, people live here, but that's no disrespect. Like, if you live there, that's cool. But I was just not used to that. Me, I'm used to bloody beaches and all of these things, But
yeah. I remember when we went to Swansea for Live 3.
yeah,
And it was the first time that I'd gone through the Brecon Beacons and over that way. And I was like, if you, like, I don't know, crash here or something, like, it feels like you're on your own. Like,
yeah.
like there's no way out of it. You're literally on your own.
Funny enough, when I drove to Aberystwyth for the first time to do the music video for Cash Converters, funny enough, I was in my old Clio and we got halfway between Carmarthen and Aberystwyth, and I don't know if you've driven that road, but it's just literally it goes to like one lane, like give way at one point. It's like these little tiny roads, no main roads at all between these little villages and stuff. Got halfway, so about 30 minutes from Carmarthen, 30 minutes from Aberystwyth. I saw a sign that says Aberystwyth. I'm like, right, okay, cool. I'm gonna pull over now and have a piss. My car broke down. It wouldn't start.
Oh no.
So I was just in the middle of nowhere. To be fair, I was really calm. Like, for some reason in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, I've got a sleeping bag in the back of the car, worst case scenario. Like, literally, I don't know why I thought like that. But it got sorted in the end. But yeah, when you are out in the proper wilderness, it's just mad.
Yeah, and it is like ridiculous. Like with Wales, is that like all these like cities and larger towns, but they're all like literally connected by like little roads and stuff like that.
True.
Like it's like there's sort of no in betweens, and I think that's maybe a problem. So over the past sort of couple of years, just sort of reverting back to Larynx a little bit. Over the past couple of years, the network of artists seems to have grown and like bridges have been crossed. I think more people know about more people doing stuff.
Yeah.
But prior, I don't feel like there was any of that really. And I think like when we started doing it, I was like, oh, it's all right. People are only a stone's throw away. But then I started getting like trains and stuff because like I don't drive, so I public transport or like someone will drive me, whatever.
Yeah.
But like getting a train on the weekend from Wrexham to where we were in Porth, you've got to go like up to Shrewsbury. Then it's like 2 hours down to Cardiff. Then you've got to go back up into
No.
into Porth, and then I was out of curiosity. I was on the train. And I was like, so what if I wanted to get to Carmarthen? And
Yeah.
it's like you've literally got to go like down like the outside of Wales.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Even up the top, um, Bangor to Wrexham, like that train's just awkward.
Yeah.
It's just awkward.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's why I had to drive to Aberystwyth. I'd never driven further than Cardiff by myself before then, and there's no trains from like Bridgend to Aberystwyth
mm,
or Carmarthen to Aberystwyth. If you want to go to from Carmarthen to Aberystwyth now on the train, you have to go all the way along past Cardiff up to Shrewsbury to come back around.
yeah,
It
yeah,
takes like 6 hours.
yeah.
It's mad.
It's absolutely mental. It's absolutely mental.
Yeah.
And like obviously trains aren't cheap either,
No.
So it's like
Bloody hell.
it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So like yeah, that was a wake up call when we started getting about a bit.
Yeah.
Like oh Jesus Christ, like everything's because I remember like I used to when I was younger, our family used to go to Tenby and Saundersfoot like for like holidays and whatnot, and like I remember it being like a long drive and what have you,
Yeah.
but never had the scope of there's like nothing in between.
Yeah.
You might go through a couple of villages or small towns, but
Yeah.
there's like nothing in between those places.
Mm.
Like it's mad. It is mad.
It's crazy.
We are almost like living medieval times compared to some places.
Oh no! When you're like obviously like big city like London, and you're just like literally everything's just
Yeah, like I love Manchester. I
yeah.
love
Big ups, Manny. I love Manchester.
I love it there, and but yeah, just so well connected with everywhere else.
Yeah.
But you go to Wrexham, and then you try and get anywhere other than like a big city, like
Mm.
you can get to like Shrewsbury, Birmingham, Chester, Liverpool, Manchester, like fairly easy.
Mm.
But like if you're going into your own country, it's like, well, I'm stuck. Like
I know.
I've got to
I,
head
I'm
into the wilderness.
I'm kind of used to it though, because being born in Australia and living in Lancashire, and I lived in the part of Lancashire where this is what I didn't really realize before. The south part of Lancashire, when you go like South Preston, it's kind of well connected to like Manchester and stuff. But between like Preston and like Morecambe, where I was, so oh yeah, Preston's like connected to Blackpool as well. But it's literally like 40 minutes drive of just nothing,
Yeah,
and then you get to like Lancaster and Morecambe, which are almost by the Lake District. So I'm used to having that nothingness. It was the same in Australia. I mean, the Gold Coast, Brisbane, they were all really well connected. They were like just a huge metropolis almost. There was like 4 million people living in South Queensland. But if you want to go from um, like the Gold Coast to Sydney, there's just like nothing until you hit like Newcastle. I mean, okay, you got Burleigh Heads and stuff. Not Burleigh Heads. Burleigh Heads is in the Gold Coast. Byron Bay, I'm thinking of. I mean, I know
yeah.
a lot of people be like, "Where are these places?" But yeah, big
So
ups on
in correlation with all that, so like, where's the Outback?
Outback's like inland, so that would be traveling west.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because we were on the east coast. We were so if Wales, for example, Wales was an island, and the England border was this like the ocean. It'd be
Yeah.
like living in Wrexham, and then going towards Aberystwyth would be going towards the Outback.
Right. Okay.
Um,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
but again, like there was like a mountain range there was, and then after the mountain range, I think that's where it's just like desert for like 4,000 miles. Like
Yeah. Nah. I'd be done. I'd be done. Like that's mental. I was gonna I was gonna walk from Wrexham to I think it was it Cardiff. Yeah, Cardiff.
mm,
At one point for a fundraiser, but it just things sort of fell
yeah,
through. But then sort of realised, I might get into a bit of like, I'd have to time it so that I have to sort of dart for the English border
yeah,
to like find somewhere to stay. Because if you went straight down the middle
mm,
and you got so far, nothing.
yeah.
You're in a field. It's a field of one of many.
Just
Um,
bring a tent.
yeah, pretty much. Well, there's this video on YouTube of a man walking across from England to Wales like lengthways,
Yeah,
and like he does it in a straight line. That's the purpose, is to go across England and Wales in a straight line.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just all field. It's just literally all field. And the other one was doing the coast of Wales,
Mm.
just all around, and that was like ridiculous. That was
Yeah, I can imagine.
that one would have been fun. I'm hoping to do it in some format at some point. Just because I really like walking as well. I really like just walking. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see what happens. Well, have you been up this way? Have you been up Wrexham?
I've been not. I've driven through Wrexham a couple of times when I was younger, and like stopped off at like Welsh Pool and I don't know. Is Welsh Pool close to Wrexham?
About an hour off, I think.
An hour off, right? Because we used to go to like near Aberystwyth on holiday a few times.
Yeah,
So depending on which route we came would depend whether or not we went sort of near Wrexham. So,
yeah.
but with I'm trying to finesse my way with somebody up to focus Wales if I can, because I'm like right. I'm like cool. Me and Scissor sort of got a track together. I'm just waiting for a verse. Me and the Honest Poet have a track together, and I'm like Hermes. She's actually on the last episode of the podcast. I'm trying to sort out a band for her as well. So it's like I've got all these connections. Oh, me and Unity might even have a track together soon. So I've got all these people that I've collabed with, and I'm thinking, is there a way that I can sneak on a stage? But I got to see, yeah.
Yeah, like there's a couple of different things going on with Focus. Obviously, we're like sort of involved with it. We've got our stage itself, and then there's a couple of bits where I think maybe just for the most part, because Focus Wales is a competitive sort of festival.
Yeah.
Like applying to play and stuff. It can be a bit sort of, it has to be scheduled sort of thing.
I get that.
But I'm sure there's like ways and means of sort of having a bit of fun.
I've done that in the past. I've turned up to so many events in like the moon and stuff, and I've come. My USB's plugged in my computer, but I've always got a USB on with me with a set list of backing tracks. Like I always just carry with me in case somebody drops out, and then I jump on the stage and perform. Like that's just literally the way I do things. Like that's I turn up to. Back when things were running, I turned up to every event. Like when I finally got comfortable driving to Cardiff, like towards the end of 2019, from like September all the way through till like February, when like 2 or 3 open mic nights a week I was turning up to every show whether I was on the set list or not. Networking, I'm handing out business cards, trying to collab with people, network with people. I mean, I've probably let it slip a little bit with the pandemic. Like, even a lot of the lads we had at this Larynx Cypher, I want to get on a track with, Vision. I want to get a track with Truth. There's people I want to work with, just to get stuff going, just to get these, collaborations. I think people underrate collaborations when it comes to not just, networking generally, but growth as well. So.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I think I remember it was 2019 Focus. Like we had a group come up from Cardiff, and we had a couple of lads up here that were performing on the same show as them, and just to see them afterwards, just all talking, shaking hands, talking about music. There were offers about going to a studio together in there. Just seeing that, like that's part of the beauty for is seeing that, like seeing you 6 or however many it was together on Saturday and thinking, oh, that's sick. Just to see people that might not necessarily cross paths actually be in the same place as each other, like that's great to me. Because like OJ's all down that way. Right in the foot of Wales, and like from what I can gather, it's even harder to get anywhere straightforward from there, especially if you're using public transport. So to see him there with the likes of like you, Vision, who could probably with a conversation or two get together quite easily.
Yeah.
But but yeah, that is part of the beauty of it for me. Is just seeing people connect and communicate with each other. It's always nice to see that. It's always nice to see that.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah, we'll probably leave it there now. But it's been great having you on, Dave.
Yeah, it's been grand. It's been grand. Thanks for asking.
Lots of things to look forward to as well, by the sounds of it, with all the collabs and Welsh music scene and all that.
hopefully, like I say, we'll keep on continuing to do what we do. You know, hopefully, help people out in some way, shape, or form. We'll obviously get the favour returned, and we'll definitely get you on the limelight. Of
Yeah,
course,
thank
I
you.
want to get you on the loaded at some point as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to see those bars
You'll get
flying.
that. Trust me.
Yeah,
Shut
yeah.
it down,
Well,
mate. When I did Big Gig Cardiff, although I didn't get through, they told me that was the most engaging and energetic performance of the whole weekend. So if
oh,
that's anything to go by,
hey, yeah, 100%. Like I say, I really fuck with what you've put out. You know, I'm really looking forward to more that comes from you as well.
yeah,
I,
bless.
I do want to see another project. Like I'm a theme for projects,
Mm,
so like I want to see another project from
you
you.
get something. It's about follow. Middle Times is great. I got to follow that up with a proper substantial.
I love Middle Times. I love
Mm,
it. I think it's good.
I got where the CD's gone. I do actually have the CDs of them somewhere here, but I'll show you after. But
I know I probably should have put a Larynx top on and
I
promoted a bit.
know.
But if you haven't got a Larynx top, go and buy
Go
one.
and buy one. Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I say, it's been brilliant to chat with you. Massively appreciate it.
Yeah. Bless.